Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. It's Michelle Mayon, the relationship strategist, and I help you navigate through the challenges of relationships and marriage. So today we're going to be talking about 5 self-love habits to practice while in marriage, because oftentimes in marriage we tend to lose ourselves. We tend to stop showing ourselves love and put our spouse before us. And not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but what I am saying is, if your cup is not full, how can you fill somebody else's cup? So as you can see by the title, we're discussing self-love in marriage and 5 habits to practice while you're married to continue your self-love, okay? Comment below how you're doing and where you're from. I would love to connect with you. Also do me a favor, hit the share button, share this with a friend, and subscribe for more awesome relationship content from your girl. Anyway, y'all, we're talking about 5 habits, 5 self-love habits that you should be practicing in your marriage. Now, for those of you who don't know my story, I am a high school dropout. I met my husband while I was 18 years old. Okay, we had 2 children and then we got married in that order, okay? I worked a full-time job, went back to school. I got 3 degrees. It was a lot, y'all, and I started to lose my sense of self. I stopped practicing those things that made me happy. And I started to lose my identity. And my love for myself honestly started diminishing. I started getting depressed. I started having like this low self-esteem, and my confidence was just dropping. So, and it was because I was catering to everybody else. I was catering to my husband. I was catering to my kids. I was doing what I thought I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do according to societal standards instead of to my own standards. Because, you know, everybody has that image of what a wife is supposed to be, what a mom is supposed to be like, you know, what a Black woman or even a woman of God is supposed to be like. And I just want to let y'all know, for those of you who are watching this video, who've made it this far, yes, I'm a woman of God, but I'm not the typical woman of God, okay? So anyway, I'm that outside of the box woman of God. So anyway, one day I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, who is this person? Okay? I didn't even recognize who I was, y'all. And the things that I loved about myself, I had let them go. And I neglected myself for years. I'm talking years, y'all, not months. I mean years. So, and I was busy filling up everybody else's cup, and my cup was completely empty. So at that point, I thought I was going crazy. I thought that I was going to have a mental breakdown. And I was worried about my future. I did not know how I was going to, you know, make it to the next. I didn't know how I was gonna be successful. So, you know, I had to make a decision at that point. Then I made the decision to put myself first and fill my cup up first, so I can make sure that everybody's else's cup is full, because I'm the rock of my family. You know, not saying that my husband is not, he is too. But when it comes to spiritual matters, when it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to that behind the scenes intercession and emotional support, I'm the one, okay? So I just decided at that point, and I just gave everything to God. I just gave everything to God. And because I had to realize, y'all, God loves my husband, my kids, more than I ever could. Like, that's just real. He loved me more than I could ever love myself. So I had to just give everything over to him and just stop stressing about stuff and stop spreading myself thin with things. So once I made that decision, there are 5 habits that I developed and that I even use right now today, to just practice love for myself on a daily basis, y'all. So we're going to get into it. So number 5 is setting boundaries. Time is a resource that you can never get back, y'all. So it's important that you spend your time wisely and that you respect your own time and that other people respect your time as well. So I keep a calendar, and because I have to get things done. So I keep a calendar, and if it's not on my calendar and I can't squeeze it in, and I don't even try to squeeze it in. Let me just do it like this. If it's not on my calendar, I'm sorry. Okay. So if I'm sitting down working on my business and my daughter comes in and says, Mom, I need to go to Walmart. Okay, you're going to have to wait till I'm done doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to get up and go to Walmart and I'm busy. Okay, but my daughter's driving now, so I give her the keys and say, hey, go ahead. But that's what I'm saying, like setting boundaries. If there is something on a weekend, maybe I'll be working on my business or I will be working with clients, and my husband may say, hey, Michelle, there's a party. Do you want to go? No, I can't go. I'm busy. Okay. Maybe next time. And maybe next time, if you let me know in advance, I'll throw it on the schedule. But set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. Okay. To your husband, to your kids. Okay. Don't be afraid to say no. Because at the end of the day, that's time that you can't get back. Now, I'm not saying if it's important. I know things come up, emergencies and stuff like that. But for the most part, develop you some boundaries with people. Okay. Make them respect you, respect your time, respect what you're doing, respect you as a mom, as a wife. Okay. And that's anybody. Set the boundaries with your friends and everybody else. All right. So number 4, habit that you should develop is putting God first, always, in all things. Okay. The best you can. I know that we human, we not perfect. And I'm going to tell y'all the kind of person that I am. I like to get up and go. Okay. When I get up in the morning, I'm like Drake's song, he said, jump up out the bed like I'm possessed. And I just jump up out the bed and I'm like, okay, what's up today, God? What we doing? But I have to remember that the battles that we're facing out here on a day-to-day basis are not at all fleshly. They're very much spiritual. And, things are sometimes not what they seem, not what they seem to be. And you have to be able, as a woman of God, to discern what's going on out here. And you got to be able to hear God's voice when he's talking to you, with all these other voices that's, out here with social media and everything else. So put God first. Spend some time with him every day if you can, in the morning. Read your word. At least say a prayer. Okay? At least ask him to guide you through the day. So yeah. Number 3, telling myself I love myself every day. Every day. Because y'all, it's hard out here. And I'm gonna tell you, just with my life, and even before marriage, the struggles that I went through as a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman. People will always say, oh, you are beautiful for a dark-skinned girl. Hey, I've been called ugly a million times. You know, so there's, and then, you know, when you look around, the women that you see on TV or in the magazines, they just don't always look like me, you know? So I'm out here and I'm not seeing women like me, like, represented. So that is something that can cause you to not like yourself, right? You know, because you looking up, you have to look up to these perfect women. Everywhere you go is perfect women. They got perfect breasts. They got the perfect butt. They stomach perfect. You know, they may be of a different complexion, whatever. So there's a million things out here every day that you have to see, a million images and, you know, whatever else to get you to not love yourself. So take some time every day to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I love you. And I do it every day. I love you, Michelle. Every day, I love you. Maybe give myself a hug, y'all. Give yourself a hug, okay? Because that's important. So number 2, I stopped being a people pleaser. This is a habit right here that's one of the hardest habits to develop. And I didn't realize I was a people pleaser. I was talking to one of my friends one time, a while back, some years back, and she was like, your problem is you're trying to please everybody. You got to make a decision for you, and everybody ain't going to be happy with that decision you make. And I was like, okay, she's right. Made me mad at the time, but she was right. And so you got to understand, you know, you're in a leadership role as a wife, as a mom, as a business owner, as a community leader. Like, you're a leader in your community. I don't know how you feel about yourself, but that's what you are. So you're going to have to make decisions on a daily basis that your husband might not agree with, that your mother-in-law might not agree with, you know, that your kids might not agree with. But if you know that that was the right decision for you to make, and that was in God's will for you to make that decision, then it's okay. And I want you to know that even if it wasn't the right decision, and sometimes we call those mistakes, right? Even if you made a mistake, it's really not a mistake. It's a learning experience. That's all it is, okay? And number 1, this one was huge for me. This is a habit that was huge for me that I had to develop, you know, in my marriage. And honestly, y'all, this is a habit that I should have formed before I got married. So the number 1 habit is speaking up for yourself, okay? For me, when I was growing up, I developed being quiet as a defense mechanism. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you didn't know anything about me, you couldn't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So I would just be quiet. I would listen to people. Unless I was really, really, really comfortable with you, I would be quiet. Even growing up in school, I would be quiet. Because there was always some bully ready to bully you, ready to pick at you, like ready to just destroy your life. So I developed this habit of being quiet. And even in high school, we had like this, my high school, I don't know, it was like a big rectangle. So there, the middle was like open, and then you had the hallways or whatever. So in the middle was where everybody would hang out, you know, all the cliques, the in people, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, and I never was an in crowd person. I was always a weird nerd, and I like weird people. So, you know, most of my friends was weird like me. And so instead of going through going through that part to get to school. I mean, to get to my class. So instead of walking through all the jocks and the cheerleaders and the in crowd people, because like I said, they would all hang out in the middle. So instead of walking, to get to class, walking through them to get to class, which was the fastest way, I would go on the outside of the school where nobody was at and walk all the way around, run if I have to get to class, because I didn't want to deal with getting bullied or whatever. So, then I developed just being quiet. And so that kind of, when I got married, it carried over to my marriage, because sometimes my husband would do things or say things and I would just be quiet, instead of speaking up about it. And there is a time and a place to speak up, and there is a way to speak up. But one thing about it, you have to speak up for yourself, because you should not shrink yourself to make people feel better. And if it's somebody you love, it's okay to tell them they're wrong. And maybe even if they're not wrong, it's okay to voice your opinion and tell people how you feel. Your feelings matter. And see, that was the problem that I had before, was, for one, I did not like confrontation. And for two, I just felt like my opinion didn't matter. Okay, that was putting me in childhood, that my opinion didn't matter. Because like in my house, in my house growing up with my mom and my dad, you was a kid. You ain't got no opinion. You better shut up and do what I say. If you don't, if you do something that I don't like, or say something I don't like, you're gonna get your behind whipped, good old fashioned butt whipping, and that's gonna be that, So that's how I grew up. So, and it carried on into my marriage. Just being quiet, not speaking up for myself, not letting my feelings be known to my husband. So, and that was damaging to my marriage at one point. So anyway, y'all, those are the 5, and y'all let me know which one of those resonated with you the most. And listen, I will put a link in the description if you guys want to schedule a relationship analysis session with me, or a wife strategist session. We can sit down and we can strategize for 2021, how we can improve your marriage, what kind of strategies that you can put in place, because this is the time. It's the time to heal. And listen, if you heal yourself, you can heal your marriage. If you're having some issues in your marriage, you're not sure what to do, get somebody to help you. Don't try to do it by yourself, girl. So anyway, hit me up, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Peace.